So today I've got some really good news for uranium stocks, the price of uranium. I really want to show everyone, I've been getting a lot of questions, why uranium did such a big run in September and April. And we're going to see that again. I'm going to show you with data, charts, and explain the whole process. Please hit the like and subscribe button below on this channel. I love making these videos for you all. So really quick, I want to go over the three big things that really tells me the confirmation that uranium is about to see another price move. And then we're going to go into the charts and I'm going to show you some things specifically with uranium contracting and what's about to happen. So first off, uranium, when we start to see investor capitulation, I've been seeing this a lot, investors capitulate. This is one sign, okay? The next one is when the stock prices have been moving without the price of uranium holding its gains, okay? They'll run up and then they'll drop back. And in a minute, I'll explain why we hit September, October, why the price of uranium went up and the stocks ran up high, as well as March and April. And we're going to go into that in a minute. But the last thing is the big mergers and acquisitions. We saw UEC get the Uranium One assets. We saw them recently and last week. They're actually going to be buying up UEX and all of their uranium. So that's a very big deal. It's a very big asset, very massive. And we've also seen Deep Yellow and VMY Resources, the exact same thing. And Deep Yellow, John Borshoff was a very late bull market thinker. The last decade, he said that he believed that it would be around this time when we started to see uranium take off again. And he has been right. Now, John Borshoff has waited to the last minute, in a sense, to do this mergers and acquisition, this VMY deal. And it looks like it'll complete next month. But this is a telltale sign to me. So my last thing before we go into that chart is, what does John Borshoff and Amir, they're both the CEOs of UEC and Deep Yellow, and what do they know that retail traders don't? So obviously these people have been in contact possibly with utility companies, with fuel buyers, with, the people really, that data is not going to be put out to the public, even in their investor release publications. It's not. This data is always private. And it is a leading indicator, in my opinion, when you start to see M&As, that you're going to see the price of uranium start to pick up. Because John Borshoff is a very veteran uranium CEO. He's the only one to get a mine going into production and actually sell to utilities. He knows them. He's on the phone, I'm sure, with them. Same thing with Amir. He does as well. He's got some of the biggest, assets now. If they get UEX, it's going to be massive new uranium producer. It's also, having the U.S. in this uranium renaissance. This is very big. So what do they know? This is what it tells me. Long-term contracts have been starting as well. Some small ones, but we're going to see that 700 million pounds coming up. Now, why is this? Well, in April and usually October, we start to see nuclear outages. And what this means is the nuclear power plants are actually refueling. So a lot of times they come into the spot market. And Sprott also started really buying up during this. And I'm going to show you on the chart. It's very, very simple. We've seen the price of uranium. We have this base here, base 2 and base 3. This was the $60+ move. And we've since retraced. We're getting that base 3 set up. Now, here's the thing. Look at when the contracting or the refueling starts, which, they go into the spot market a lot of times. And we have seen some contracting recently in the last couple months as well. But when they come in, we see these are when the nuclear outage, the most outages. So it's April, May, and then we see September, October. And what do you know? The price of uranium also went August, September up to its new high. And then what do you know? Spring, April, March and April, that's when it hit its highest. So boom, when March and April, we're coming down. And then this, what I just showed you, this coming late summer, fall, they're going to start to do the exact same thing. These are all the reactors in the US. And we're going to see uranium prices move up. This is not even including inflation. This is not even including I saw an article about 40%, I believe, cash is what most people are, the overall entire market. So you're going to probably see a lot of money come over to, especially uranium. It's so small, so even a little bit is going to look like a lot. And we saw Cameco, and this is UEC's chart here, down here. We saw both of them usually do all-time highs in the fall and also the spring. We just saw 11-year high in UEC and CCJ, Cameco, 2 months ago in April. So what was happening? Well, we start to see these reactors are down, in the spring, and that's when we see utilities coming into as well as Sprott. we'll jump over here real quick. So that to me, you know, today we saw UEC is pretty much one of the only bigger stocks, and Energy Fuels actually closed positive. NASDAQ was like 1.5%. So we saw at the end of the day, they're just way too sold off. So what I was just saying, look, Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, what happens? September, October, what do? They purchased the most uranium during this time. People are wondering, why do they only have, 56 million pounds right now? Why are they not buying more with all that, the millions of dollars that they have? Well, obviously the market conditions, but, overall for them to raise, they got to be, they're at a discount. They're at 56 million pounds. They haven't bought too much since the spring, really, April. We saw the same thing. Look, we saw the biggest buys during this time. And then we started to wean down. I think this is going to come back up. That's just the way the cycle works. And investors right now are capitulating. And it's kind of sad that, everyone's just jumping, completely into the technicals, the charts. They're worried about, a bear market, a recession. And I'm just chilling, sitting back. I've seen this before. I've seen investors capitulate, and we have not seen the 700 million pounds of uranium contracting come back. So the thing really is U.S. production back in the 70s, when we started that uranium renaissance, the last time we saw this was really crazy because we were importing nothing, no uranium for the first few years, okay? And we saw an all-time low to an all-time high in uranium prices. Okay, and what was the issue? This blue line is U.S. production. We stopped production, almost zero. There's no renaissance. So this low-cost Kazakhstan, we get 50+% of our uranium from all over the world, which is mainly Kazakhstan and its allies, Uzbekistan, obviously Russia and Kazakhstan. So it's going to be a big move in uranium as well when we start to see the renaissance in the U.S. happen with not only uranium production, but enrichment. So this is a very, very nice sign. This was during a recession. This was right after, the Vietnam War, a big war. Same thing, when war in the Middle East, we spent almost $7 trillion. And that's why inflation's happening. We printed too much money. The government is still wanting to give out way too much free money, and nothing is free. So obviously you're going to pay for it with the inflation tax. It's the government's way to tax you. And all this cash sitting around, people are going to need to deploy it into something if they do have cash left. And, when we get that uranium production starting and we are not, say, importing from Russia, or there's issues with Kazakhstan, we're going to see the price of uranium go up. No more low-cost producers, in my opinion. We look back and we say, okay, there's 700 million pounds that need to be contracted in the next, few years in this cycle. We can look back and we can see that the price of uranium started to go up very fast when we saw the volumes go up. This is the utility term, how many millions of pounds, and the price went up very quickly. We can see also down here, baby blue is the spot volume. And the spot price is this orange one. So we can see the spot price went up very quickly when we started these long-term contracts. This is going to come back. All of these big blue lines, very simple, is going to come back over here very, very soon. And we're not talking about September, April type of moves in the spot price and the long-term price, which we're already seeing the long-term price in these contractings starting. We're going to see a very big move, and we're not even adjusting for inflation. Milton Friedman said this as well. The Federal Reserve has printed so much money. It's going to be a long time before they can actually get inflation down. It's like a drunk person. The good effects come first, Milton Friedman said. It's very nice. You have a record bull market like we've seen. And then you start to feel bad, and the effects are coming in, and it takes a long time to come down from that. We saw a record in the NASDAQ. We've seen this before. This is what the NASDAQ's done since, and it's still looking pretty ugly out there, but it is very sold off. So we'll see how the overall market does. This is what the overall market looked like today. See if we can actually get in some money coming into the energy sector. The energy minerals were down the most today. So uranium being so small, it got drugged down with a lot of those U.S. producers. I think a lot more money starting to move there. I've seen a lot more people talk about it. Crude oil down. We've seen a lot of yoking pretty much from the uranium trade to oil sometimes. A lot of people are worried that this recession will have less demand, but Here's the thing. We were in a recession in the 1970s. We were in record inflationary environment. We had stagflation that inflation turned into. And then uranium prices went from all-time low to high. Production renaissance started, and we saw very positive things happen. So I'm not worried about the uranium price right now. Yes, with the spot price going down 50 cents in a day, sometimes you look at that and you're like, why is it not over 50 yet? Well, it looks pretty good on the chart to me. We're very close. We're getting that third base, and we're looking like we're going to break out. We did break out very quickly, like I said, in April. You know exactly why. I just said. We also have a possibility of catalyst coming with the Russian uranium ban, or U.S. energy, $4.3 billion for U.S. uranium enrichment that could really spark uranium prices. And then obviously long-term contracts. When we start to see the uranium price move in the long term, we can also see the spot move very quickly. And usually the spot price will move up a lot faster. And a lot of times uranium stocks, like I said, with investor capitulation, we start to see the uranium stocks take off again before the price of uranium really hits. It's not going to be cool outside. There's going to be record energy prices likely out there. A lot of blackouts. These are coming. I will be updating this in my uranium documentary video. If you guys want to see that, please hit the like and subscribe button in this video. I get so many people that watch these videos, and a lot of times they're not subscribed. Why aren't you subscribed? I cover uranium, I cover energy, and these things have been up a lot. Even with the pullback, they're still up, far greater than majority of the stocks out there in the past couple years. And I don't just push stocks, random stocks. I really do believe in these, and I keep track of them every day. And I let everyone know all this stuff before I even am able to do a video on it. It's in my Discord. If you want links to that, if you want to see what uranium stocks I'm thinking about or have bought or am trading, because it's a perfect trading environment, there's a link in the description below for the Discord. It's in the Patreon, and it really helps my channel because, as you know, it's a small channel and I do this full time. So your help is very appreciated. Thank you so much, and stay positive. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the weather, enjoy your time you have. Look at the long-term fundamentals. The technicals are also there. They're telling us that the price of uranium will go higher, because if you look at that long-term uranium price and you look at the spot price and you look at the volume that has to come back, it's going to come back and the price is going to go to new highs, not even including inflation, because we have record demand and a renaissance. I hope to see you in the Discord, and until next time.